Hello, I'm Sebastian. Today I'm giving my class on a root melt. I'm gonna show you what's my holy grail. So I got my San comb, my Tangle teaser, and then my Big Daddy brush. So I'm using 8N, 6N with 10 volume. So this is my model. I have her prepped. We did a full highlight on her. All I'm gonna do is the root melt, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. So for this technique, I like to start on wherever they part. My model here, she likes to have a side part, so this is where I'm starting. What I do here, I am gonna kind of drag it down all the way to the back, and then I separate her hair there. You can see her highlights there too. All right. Let's start off with our first section. Right, make sure that you kind of brush it out. You don't want to run into some tangles later on. So I'm using my Tangle teaser. All right, let's start. I'm gonna go ahead, tap it here. And then if you come close up here, you're gonna see how I'm not gonna go all the way to the front of her hairline. She does like having a little money piece, so I am gonna keep it there for her. I will tap it at the end, but not now. And then you get both sides. And I'm gonna try to show you guys. I know my body might block it or my hands, but I'm trying my best. All right, so for this process, I like to work vertically, not horizontally. I found it to be much neater for me, and also it makes it faster. And make sure you kind of brush it a bit too. So I like to maybe go in max about an inch. Remember too that I am gonna be combing it through, so I don't want to drag it too down, so just do a light tap close to the scalp. And I grab the other section. And again too here, I'm not trying to cover any of her grays. I'm just trying to blend the highlight with her natural. Prior to this color, she did have, she had about a good inch of outgrowth, and she wasn't liking it. She wants something that's gonna be a little bit more natural. And we are going ashier today for the toner. She does have quite a few grays, so we are gonna try to mimic that. So now we're kind of approaching the front of her head. So here I do tend to grab thinner sections, closer to the hairline. I find it to be much neater. And for this part, I don't drag it that much either. See that? And take your time with this. And I'm gonna go to about there. And I'm gonna leave this out. I will tap it at the end just because I don't want to darken it that much. I do want to keep her hairline a little bit lighter. So now that you can see, I applied everything vertically. And now I'm gonna go ahead and continue on the other side. So now we're going on to the other side, and same thing. I find it a little bit easier when I do comb the hair from the root before I apply it. This is one of my favorite techniques for my like super blonde clients, especially when I do want to have some depth while still keeping that lightness all throughout. You can either drag it far down, or even just like slight tap. So after this is something that you should get. We covered up mostly everything besides the hairline. We are keeping that. So after that, I like to let it sit for about a good 5 minutes. So 5 minutes have passed already. So go ahead and tap her hairline. For this, don't drag it too much. Just a light tap. And what I like to do is tap one side and then grab my comb, and then I'm gonna pull it. Make sure that you're tugging on it. Have some good tension in there. And again, this is my brush. And you see, there's just product at the tip. And tap. And then again, I'm gonna just dip it in the bowl one more time. Little product. Tap. And then sometimes you'll just have extra and you can use it. A little bit goes a long way. There we go. And here, tap. Brush. Tap. And tap. And I do like to separate these from the front. Just bring them back. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, so you see now that her hairline's tapped, I'm gonna start using my Tangle Teaser. And then I'm gonna have you look down for me. And then what I like to do, I like to work like this. Brush it through. It doesn't have to be like a perfect section. Just brush that in. And again. Brush it through. I'm gonna tilt your head a little bit back now. Thank you. And then for the top part, I would just comb it out like this a bit. Again, here, separate, brush it through. Brush it through, brush it. Same thing, top, brush. And you can just incorporate everything together. And then at the end, you brush the money pieces. And now same thing on this side. Section it, brush it, section again, brush it. And the top. You just incorporate everything all together. And what I like to do, I like to comb everything to the back, except these. Whatever I left out stays in the front. Okay, so now for my money pieces, what I like to do is brush it up. Keep them separated. And then same thing on this side. Brush this way. And then same thing, brush up. And still keep them separated from the rest of the hair. So from that, we're gonna let it sit for another 5 minutes. And then she'll be ready to rinse, and then we can apply her toner. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and rinse her. I am gonna do a vertical rinse out on her. I don't want her ends to get any darker. I am gonna have my cameraman help me. I wanna just hold this side for her. And then for this part, I do like to use cool water. I noticed that when I rinse with warm water, it tends to stain like any fresh highlights. And again, I'm gonna rinse out vertically. Sorry if it's a little cold. Alright, and hold that tight for me. And I'm gonna just hold her ends up. Make sure it doesn't get any color on there. In here, hold it tight. And start rinsing the front. Alright, so now I'm mixing her toner. I'm going to use 10 NV and 10 volume. So now that she's rinsed out, I'm going to start applying her toner. And this is 10 NV, SoColor Sync. And you can just put it everywhere. And then the hot towel on her. And wring it real good. Place it. Sometimes they don't like their eyes covered, but I'm like, it's a whole treatment here. I do put essential oils usually on the hot towel, so they do get to relax a bit. And we do have our foot rest, so we're gonna let her sit for 20 minutes. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I did shampoo her with the Food for Soft by Matrix, and then I am gonna show you the products I am gonna use on her for styling. So I'm gonna start off with the High Amplify Mousse. To emulsify it before I apply it. Just apply it everywhere. Kind of brush it through the ends and working in that root. After that, I like to use a comb. Just brush it through to disperse the product all throughout her hair. After that, I am gonna go with the Mega Sleep heat protectant. It smells good. All right, and stay tuned. This is the final product. You want to take a look. I'm gonna tilt your head this way. Smoked out. And if you can see here, we kept her grays. It's gonna be a very soft outgrowth for her. No harsh lines, nothing. And that toner, it ate. But thank you so much for staying tuned. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.